Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I want you to check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of my merch, y'all. I've added some new things like my mermaid cups and the mermaid tees, and also the Shake Them Tits mugs. All right, you asked for it, and you got it. Check out Bondy's merch at Bondy's Boutique. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another Love and Hip Hop New York review, you guys. The episode was really good tonight. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode tonight, okay? Love and Hip Hop New York is really getting back out there for being one of the better Love and Hip Hop shows. Because I'm just saying, y'all, I really was paying attention to every segment tonight. So, I'm going to start off with Joe and Cynthia, okay? So, Joe and Cyn went to see Dr. Jen. Dr. Jen is one of the therapists that have been on VH1 for years. She's had a show on VH1. She's been on different, shows, being a therapist and stuff like that. So, we know who Dr. Jen is, right? So, Joe is talking to her basically about how, getting really emotional when he thinks about Cyn getting pregnant. He's in love with her, love of his life, and she gets pregnant. And I'm not gonna do it, y'all. I'm not gonna make fun of him being emotional because I don't want to do that. Because I was feeling him. He did not do the best job with his first child. And now with Lexington, he has a chance to be the father that he wasn't to the first. And he's made things right with that first one. That's what he told us. But we all were looking at the situation like, damn, I know that first kid got to feel like this is really fucked up. You were a perfect parent for Lexington, but you wasn't really there that much for the first child. But Joe wants to make up for that and all of that, and he gets emotional about that. But he talks about how him and Cyn are just not in the same place right now. So then Cyn comes in to speak to Dr. Jen on her own. And one of the main things they talked about is the reason why Cyn is not comfortable having a nanny take care of Lexington is because her mother worked a lot when she was young, and she thought that she could trust the woman who she left Cynthia with, but that lady molested Cyn when she was 5 years old. And Cyn hasn't even told her mom about that, so I'm guessing she probably had a conversation prior to this episode coming out. But I seen Cyn recently on Instagram singing again, and that made me feel like, okay, she must be doing better. Like, I know that she's probably increasingly gotten better since the taping of the show, but just when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, Cyn's singing again. She must feel better. When she does her little videos and stuff in the house, and they listening to music, and she's singing along and everything. I love when she does that. But yeah, y'all, so this was just very emotional for her to tell this truth that she hasn't really told to a lot of people. And so Joe comes back in, and Dr. Jen says that, the reason why Cyn didn't want to have the nanny, whatever, and says that they really are trying to get to the same place. They just are having a miscommunication, and that Joe needs to be a little bit more sensitive with his words, what we've all been saying. Say, I love you, I understand, I get it. And when you go through the process, a very extensive process of getting someone to watch your child so that you can have time, just be understanding to where she is with this situation. And I thought it was great, y'all. I thought it was great. They really didn't talk about Cyn's postpartum that much, but I'm sure this, therapy session was much longer than they showed us, but they can only show us so much. And the main Mabble Scrabble, the meat of the situation was her being molested. So after that, they go and have dinner with Remy and Papoose. And Joe tells us that, he was listening to what they said, and he got a romantic night together. He got Lexington over to her mom's house and put candles all around the house. And he called Cyn, and Cyn doesn't want to come home. Cyn is out in the street with her friends in the club. I'm like, God damn, bro, he tried. And Cyn says, I wanted to go out, and I called him. I said, I'm in the city. Why don't you come in the city? But he didn't want to come because he's old. So, like I was just supposed to go out for a minute, but I lost track of time. And then when I get home, he's sleeping. So then nothing happened. And Remy's like, this is the both of y'all's fault. This is the both of y'all's fault, okay? Because she wanted to get out, meaning out of the house, okay? And Cyn, you should have still met your man halfway and went home to see what he had popping for you, okay? Maybe next time y'all will go out. But Joe was like, I was just trying to have sex. So Pap comes out of nowhere with, I think y'all need to get married. You know what I'm saying? Because the vows are what keep you in check. Okay, whenever I feel like, we going through a hard time, I just remember my vows. And that keeps me in check. And I'm just like, Pap, You such a good guy, Pat. You are such a good guy. And for some men, marriage does give them a different perspective on their love for their wife. I feel like that's what happened with me and Lyric. It's kind of a catch-22 because it's like the gravity of the situation falls. And you now understand I'm responsible for this person. You know, I'm there in case of emergency, not their mom anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes a different level of responsibility for the person that you're with. Joe says that if things continue the way they've been, engagement is just not on the table right now. And I'm just like, Joe, this is such bullshit. I feel like it's such bullshit. I mean, eventually he proposed to her in his own time, you know, later in 2018, and that's great. We're glad they finally got there. Can't wait to see what the wedding dress gonna look like. Child, her and Erica Mena engaged at the same damn time. That shit is hilarious. I think Erica Mena is pregnant. Safari did this really cute romantic, you know, thing with their apartment. It had hearts from, you know, Hobby Lobby and Michael's all over the fucking place, and candles, and a jar of pickles on the side of the bed. And that's why I thought that she was pregnant. But I just thought it was so cute. He had on Bended Knee playing. I was like, yes, you better play the Boys to Men. Okay, I was feeling it. It was super duper cute. But I also feel like, why the fuck y'all always gotta broadcast? Like, go sit, you know what I'm saying? Go sit out somewhere. Enjoy it. Show us the next morning. Okay, they mid fuck sitting up there. Look, y'all, oh my god, I love you. You are getting it tonight. Like, give it to him and then tell us about it, sis. Never mind, y'all. Moving along to the next topic. Jonathan and Sydney meet up. Sydney is really feeling some type of way about the fact that Rich, Jacquay, and Nia Lee all tried to get her together in one way or another. Whether it's about the rap skills or the wardrobe, we trying to elevate you, but you ain't trying to hear us, okay? Sydney is just with the shits for no damn reason, and it annoys the hell out of me, okay? So she meets up with Jonathan so that they can have some drinks and talk about said issues with the rap career. And being a transgender rapper in the hip-hop community is so hard. Yeah, it's much harder when you have no talent as well. So Sydney says that she wants to be like Cardi B. She won't be as big as Cardi B. And Jonathan is like, do you have the talent of Cardi B? And she's like, well, he's like, well, you better rap for me right now, goddammit. You better rap for me. So she does this rap. She gets up on a counter and crosses them big ass thighs and shit, and does this little ditty that I didn't even try to memorize for y'all, because don't nobody want reiterate how terrible whatever that was. It was definitely different from the first rap that she did over and over and over again. So I guess she's at least rewriting the shit. So that's progress, right? Either way, Jonathan was just like, oh Lord, why I asked her to do it? Oh Lord, why I asked her to do it? And this is when I got pissed off. Sydney Star then says, I'm offended as a trans woman that they would tell me that I needed to change my look. I don't want to change my look. And I'm just like, Sydney, why is everything like I'm offended as a transgender woman? Why? What does that mean? Because you have a dick and titties, does that mean that you above reproach when it comes to criticizing your look? Everybody can be criticized. So can you. Because I feel like it's them times when you see like somebody using, you know, the LGBTQRSYT, you know, when you see them using that shit to try to bully people into feeling a certain way or into, you know, taking something back or whatever, y'all use that, and that's bullshit. At the end of the day, you look like a fucking prostitute. You look cheap. Okay? And if there are any examples of transgender women who have made it, I would like to say Laverne Cox for one. Okay? I've seen Laverne Cox in person, and Laverne Cox had like nearly no makeup on, just a really good, you know, flat iron wig. You know, I think it was a wig. It could have been a weave. Who knows? Either way, it was just nice and laid and just regularly dressed, chilling. Okay? So the thing about it is, if you want to really come off as a woman, you have to stop looking like a trans prostitute, because that is how you look. You busting out of everything like a broken can of biscuits or some shit, okay? And it's just not cute. It's not cute. It's not feminine. It's trashy. And you don't want nobody to tell you about that because you get all in your feelings. Do you think everybody else takes criticism that fucking well? Like, there aren't a lot of people that take criticism well. I don't don't take criticism well. I don't pretend that I do. Y'all, let me tell y'all, as long as I've been alive, I've always tried to do shit the best that I possibly can, because I don't want his shit from nobody. Okay? Now, I will tap into my grown woman panties, pull them up, and take advice when given, especially when I ask for it. Okay? But other than that, bitch, don't nobody really like being criticized, especially not by nobody on a reality show or online and all of that. But you have to look at it from another perspective. If these people are taking their time to help you, why not listen? But I feel like she feels as if the only way she can make a splash on Love and Hip Hop is if she's beefing and arguing with every damn body. And that's what she's intending to do. So Jonathan, after he licks her nipple at the fucking bar in front of all of these people, just licking fake titties in front of everybody. What the shit is going on here? Jonathan, we can tell you, Miss Anais. Because I'm telling y'all, I really and truly believe that Anais and Jonathan have had sex together and with other people at various times. Remember, we did worse shit. That's a part of the worst shit. So Jonathan has a master class trying to help y'all get y'all makeup together. And he invites Sydney so she can come out and receive some of that help. When she gets there, Naya is his model, and Naya looks very beautiful, but like I said again, Naya with the fade is always better than Naya in the good wigs that haven't been, bleached or, it ain't been done right, okay? You need somebody that do better with the wigs, because if your scalp is still the same color as the wig, as the hair, then that's not good, Naya. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like she's so, she's pulling so hard against y'all not to listen to what y'all have to say, because, bitch, you don't really look that much better all the time. So it's like, bitch, my weave better than yours. Why would I listen to you on my fashions, okay? So to that extent, I understand where you're coming from, Sydney. But I don't care how you slice it, shape it, split it, cut it down, whatever the fuck you want to do. Add baking soda to it, bitch. It's trashy. And you look like you're getting too old for that shit, y'all. So when Naya sees Sydney walk in with the titties cut out and all of the sides of the thigh cut out the dress, it's already a fitted dress, okay? When dresses fit to your body like spandex, there's no need to then add more holes to the shit. It's already sexy, bitch. If you have a nice body, big titties, big ass, your job is done. Naya just looks at it and says, you know what? You're fucking up. You fucked up the outfit. You're fucking up the bars. You're fucking up the relationship that we had. I could have been a real big sister to you, bitch, but you in here fucking it up. And Sydney, with the shits, don't care what Naya gotta say. I don't care what you're talking about. I look good. Bloggity, 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 blah. And then she does this to Naya. This. Like ifing. She ifed at her. And Naya said, bitch, let me tell you something. If I wasn't a changed person, I'd drag your ass in here. Let me go ahead and go this way before I end up hurting this bitch, okay? And Jonathan's like, yeah, go that way, baby. Jonathan's like, bitch, what are you doing? Don't you ever if at a New York City, bitch. What is wrong with you? I don't know what's wrong with Sydney. But see all this right here? This is the reason why Sydney hasn't made it. This is the reason why Sydney isn't a starer. You will never understand the greatest attribute that made Cardi be a star is her ability to motherfucking listen. Listen to people that's telling you what to do. Listen to people when they tell you I have expertise. Listen to me, bitch. I know what I'm talking about. When they tell you that and you believe them and then you do what they tell you to do, if you have an inch of a talent, you'll end up being like Cardi. Cardi listened. That was the main thing that I noticed. Her come up was her listening to people when they tried to fix her image, when they fixed her teeth, when they fixed her wig, bitch. Okay? At the end of the day, everything they did worked. The bitch looks fabulous every time I see her. Okay? So just listen, bitch. Just listen. You could be sexy sometimes, but the fact that we already know about your history and the type of shit you like to do, it would be best if you would go against what people know you as, which is kind of being a thought. So y'all, let's get to one of the serious stories of the episode, and that's Yandy and her situation with Infinity. So Yandy's mother-in-law, Judy, sits down with her because she wants to express how uncomfortable she is with the fact that Yandy has moved Infinity into the home with her grandchildren and she doesn't know her, and she doesn't feel like Yandy has taken the time out to get to know the little girl enough to bring her around her children. Yandy said, Judy, those are my children. Do you really think after 3 years of this little girl coming to my mentoring project, do you really think I don't know her well enough and I'm gonna just bring her in my house and let her be around my children? Really? Really, Judy? But Judy's apprehension sparked something inside of Yandy, because Yandy decided to go and meet with Infinity's mother. Now, excuse me, y'all. Let Infinity's mama tell it. Infinity has not been in the foster care system her whole life. She'd only been in the foster care system since the previous November, when somebody called Child Protection Services on her and they came in and they took Infinity out of the home. And she's just now been in and out of foster care, but she's a good kid. And the mom had 6 kids all together, and I guess she couldn't handle all of those children. All right, so this is what she's telling Yandy. But the way she was just like, oh, I think you'll be a great foster mother. Like, so you mean to tell me you don't want your child back? You don't want her to be back into your home? Something is wrong right there. And Yandy is confused on who to believe, but I feel like that should tell you a lot right there. The fact that she don't even give a fuck about getting her child back. I'm just saying, y'all, that was not in her voice, in her throat, nowhere. And something tells me that she's already overwhelmed with the children she already has still at the house, okay? All I know is that mama, you ain't about to convince me that she was some good ass mama and you know, the girl is just in CPS and in a foster care system because somebody called CPS and they came over and just didn't like something. Like, no. Obviously, you were doing wrong by that child in one way or another for them to take her out of your care, and then for you to be so willing to throw her into the hands of a woman that you don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm leaning a little bit more to Infinity side of things, okay? So when Yandy gets home, she finds out that Infinity then jumped out the fucking car in a car with the assistant, because she found out that Yandy talked to her mom. And Infinity starts to walk back down the street. Yandy's on the phone flipping the hell out, and she's like, I'm gonna call you back. I see her right now. She said, where have you been? What is wrong with you? And Infinity starts to go in about how you gonna go and meet up with my mom without telling me. And I feel like I've seen that so many times. Like, I can't tell y'all how many times I've seen the kid get mad about shit like that. Like, you don't have the right to go and speak to their mom without their permission or without them knowing. And Yandy is like, so you don't think that I should have a conversation with the woman who birthed you? You don't think that I should know a little bit more about your life so that I can help you? You don't think I should have met your mother? And she really couldn't say anything. So Yandy brings up the fact that she's ran away before. That's something that the mom said. And she said, where did that even come from? But then admits that she has ran away multiple times. So it's just like, little girl, just calm all the way the hell down. So Infinity tells Yandy that her mom has not actually raised her. Her mom hasn't helped her with her homework. Her mom has never picked up a report card. Her mom has been drunk and at home laid up with a man when she gets home from school. And that is her experience with her mother. And Yandy gets emotional and starts to cry. And she tells her, look, I understand all of that, and I'm sorry that that happened to you, but you need to learn how to handle your situations better. I am here to help you. I am trying to help you. Okay? So she hugs her and they hug it out. And the look on that little girl's face says to me that enough has happened to where she goes into a place where she's trying to push her emotions away so she don't really feel how upsetting this all is for her. And I just thought it was sad. And I feel like everything she said about that mama is probably true, and plus more that she's not saying. Because you know mamas that be drunk all the time with some man in the bed with all of these kids, and you ain't never asked for a report card or nothing, sound like, you know, children that be ripe to be taken advantage of because their parents ain't paying fucking attention. Okay, I'm gonna just leave that right there. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next storyline, which is Rich. So Rich meets up with his mom because he wants to discuss what is going on with Miracle, his baby mom. So we all know about this. Apparently, Miracle shot her baby daddy, husband, whatever. And turns out Ashley was the one that had to drive him to the hospital. So now even though the husband isn't filing charges, Miracle is being brought up on charges by the state. And Rich is really worried about Ashley, and every time he gets on the phone with them and asks them what's going on, everybody says they're okay, everybody says they're fine, but he knows that obviously they're not okay, because Ashley called him and said that she needed money for her tuition because her financial aid was dependent upon her mother and her mother's husband's relationship. So I guess since they didn't separate or whatever has happened with that, that has affected her financial aid. And Rich was like, you know, I paid for it because that's what we gotta do, but I feel like they're not telling me what's going on, and there's a lot going on. And so his mom says that you need to bring Ashley here. You need to bring her here. Don't wait for her to tell you what's going on. You need to take control as her parents and bring her here so you can get an understanding of what's going on with your child. So that's what he does. He has Miracle and Ashley come out so he can talk to them about what's going on. And here's the thing about Miracle, and this is something I noticed about her in previous seasons. She seems like one of those religious people that cling on to God as a way to, it's almost like a drug or like alcohol, a way to not deal with their issues really, or a way to push things to the back of their mind by saying, oh, God will take care of it, God will handle it. And at the end of the day, you would hope that people will have faith enough to trust in God, but there is a part in the Bible where God said faith without work don't do shit. That's not what they said, but I can't remember the whole thing. But all I know is faith without work, what you expecting? God don't help people that don't help themselves, you know? So, you know that story about, you know, I want to, oh God, please, you know, pray all the time. God, please let me hit the lotto. Like, buy a ticket. Like, help me help you. Help me help you. All right? Anyway, but she's talking about, oh, you know, we just praying about it, and we was hoping everything was going to turn out all right. And it's like, girl, what? Rich finally gets to talk to her and get her to open up about the situation, but she doesn't want to talk about it in front of Ashley. Ashley is 19 years old. She's not a baby. She may still be a teenager, but she's not a baby, okay? And the situation has already happened to her, so now to keep her out, to keep her excluded, to keep her in the dark about the fact that her mom might be spending some time in jail is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and you're not preparing her for what could possibly happen. And like Rich said, how is she supposed to be able to focus on school like you want her to do? How is she supposed to go on when she has to worry about the fact that her mom is in prison? You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, they was gonna charge her with attempted murder, but then took the charges down to assault. And I'm just like, that is fucking crazy. And she's sitting up there with this blank look on her face, like, you know, just pray, Rich. Just pray about it. Rich said, praying is what got us in this situation, because I was praying about it, just thinking that my child would be okay, when really my ass should have been where you were, because if I was there, this would have never happened. Memphis or whatever they from. He was just saying how if he wouldn't have never left and came to New York to do his music thing or whatever, that none of this would have never happened. Miracle and him would have still been together doing their family thing. They probably would have been struggling and shit, but at least he would have been in his child's life to where she's not in the room putting the pillow over her sister's ear so that they don't hear y'all arguing, and my baby mama shoots her husband on some shit and I'm nowhere around. And so Rich gets so emotional, y'all, and he really tugged at my heartstrings when he turned his head away from that camera, y'all. It was just like when he was crying about Olivia and he just wanted her to win. But this was like even more serious than that, because I can't even joke about this shit, because this is about his daughter, and you can see how not being in her life the way he feels he should have been, which would mean on a daily basis, not living in different states and only seeing her every summer or so often. And y'all, you know what else I thought about that made me mad? When Miracle came and got Ashley from Rich, when she was staying with Rich because she got her belly button pierced or some stupid shit like that. And I was so mad about that, because I'm like, so you mean to tell me you in an abusive household, which you don't want to speak about because you don't want to, you know, besmirchify your husband's name or whatever. So she's not really talking about what has been going on in that household. She's not being vocal. She's not saying he's been abusing me and that is why I shot him. But the undertone says that he was abusing her and she shot him in self-defense. And I'm just thinking about how she came and got her daughter from Rich because of a belly button or her hanging out with some boy or whatever. Meanwhile, you bringing her back into an environment where there's abuse going on. Like that just, when I thought about that, I was like, see what I'm talking about? Crazy fucking church people. Like, and I'm not talking about people that go to church. I'm talking about these specific types of crazy ass church people that think that these certain rules and guidelines mean that, you know, your child isn't gonna come out fucked up, and that you can just be in the house being abused by your husband and that won't have any effect on her because y'all been praying. Like, I cannot, y'all. I cannot with Miracle. And at one point she says to Rich, so what are you saying, this is my fault? And I'm like, yeah, bitch, this is absolutely your fault. Like, I know you're not supposed to, you know, shame anybody. I'm not shaming her for being abused. But what I'm saying is, you put your daughter in this situation when you stay with somebody who abused you in the first place. And then to not prepare her for what is to come, to not send her to her daddy's so that she's not living in a home with you and your abusive ass husband. Like, I'm thinking about all of that. Why would you not have sent that girl to be with her daddy a while ago? And that would have at least helped him feel like he was being a part of her life more so than how shit is now, where he feel like he getting hit upside the head with this situation, and now he has to step in and be daddy rich and help with the case and give money and get counseling for Ashley and do whatever he has to do. He now has to fix a problem that he feels like is his fault, but really it's not. Like, nobody told Miracle to go and be with some abusive preacher. Like, I don't know who she with, but that's what it felt like. Which, you know, the reason why she didn't want to speak on who he was and what he was doing to her might have been because, you know, he might be a pastor somewhere, and, you know, we don't want to besmirch a nigga name and all of that. So after they finish having their conversation, Ashley comes into the room with them, and Miracle explains to her what's going on and how she might be facing jail time. And Ashley gets emotional and starts to cry. And she says, you know, Ma, you think that things don't affect me, but they do. Meaning, you think I don't know what's going on, but I know what's going on. And I'm just as bothered as I was before you told me this shit, okay? I can kind of put two and two together and feel that shit wasn't quite right. But thanks for telling me. Now I know I can somewhat, you know, prepare my mind for what might take place, when at the end of the day, the pain is going to be the pain. But if she would have been kept in the dark and then just up one day, her mom is in jail, that would have been terrible to me. But Ashley says she loves her mom. She doesn't blame her. And she's going to be there for her no matter what. And just the fact that the daughter wants to be there for her mom, and they're just trying to figure out a way to make this okay for her. It's just crazy, the dynamic between parents and their children. Especially when their children begin to feel responsible for their parent. You can tell Ashley has seen the abuse. And then Ashley having to drive him to the hospital after her mama shot him. That's a whole bunch of trauma that y'all just ignoring, hoping that, oh, if we pray it away, it'll be okay, y'all. No, 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 Miracle. Okay, get it together, sis. I'm not blaming you for being abused, but I am blaming you for putting your child in a situation that she had to be an adult and then trying to keep her in the dark under the pretense of protecting her, when really it's probably got more to do with your shame than anything. So yeah, y'all, we'll see how this all plays out. I hope it works out for her, though. All right, y'all, that was the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Love y'all. See y'all in the next one.